So for this journal, I'm going to talk about the voice work that we've been doing. I won't go into too much detail specifically about how all the techniques work, just because I know that, so I don't really need to do that. If anyone watching this wants to know what I'm talking about, I mean, you can message me, I guess, and ask, and I can talk to you about it. But anyway, the voice work we've been doing has actually been tremendously helpful for me, because I've never had any kind of voice training before. The technique we're doing is called the Nadine George technique. And basically, it's about finding ways to connect your breath to your body and finding the places where it naturally sits and where you can push it and where you can sort of expand it. And I've had a really great time doing it because, again, I've just never done any kind of voice work before. So this has been great. It's really shown me a lot about where my voice can actually go. My voice can go much deeper, very comfortably than I ever thought it could. It's not me pushing and forcing it to go low. It's just, once I've gone through sort of all the warm-ups and everything, and I'm practicing a speech with the technique, it just naturally falls very low. And that's been very exciting to have happen because I've just never experienced it before. So that's been great. There were some frustrations as the year went by, or as this part of the year went by, because at the beginning of the school year, we had 3 weeks of voice classes, a few hours a week, maybe up to 6 hours a week doing voice stuff. And it was great. We were learning about these warm-ups and we were learning how to do everything, but we never really got into the specifics of how to apply it to acting. So it was always great whenever we were in the room doing the warm-ups and doing the work and learning about it, but then when we left there, we didn't really know what to do with any of it. And then for a while, we kind of just stopped having voice classes as we focused on other projects, so the practice kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. And then this past week, we've had a couple more voice classes again, our last couple. And those were really helpful, actually, because they finally focused on this is what you can do in your own time, and this is what will help you. And that's been great. So now I know a bit more about what to do alone while I work on this stuff. And so in general, the exercises just involve a lot of breathing, eventually getting to a point where you start adding sounds and text. And the theory is kind of based off of different resonance points in the body that Nadine calls high male, low male, high female, low female. And nothing gender specific about them, that's just the names she's given them. So everyone has those resonance points. I have a high female point just as any woman has a low male point and all that. And this basically comes down to finding those resonance points and finding out ways to apply them to a text that you're working on, and expanding from there. And it's been great. A lot of it comes down to sort of where you are at the moment on the day that you're practicing it. So it's kind of hard to explain specifically anyway, but I've been having a great time and I really want to take it further. And it's been interesting because I've never really been taught that voice classes are just as much of an acting class as anything else. All my training in the past has involved body and language and diction, which I guess is voice, but not to this kind of extent. So it's just been really interesting having someone show you how much your voice really does influence your acting, and to treat these voice classes as acting classes, because they are in the end. And so that's been great, and I've really enjoyed doing that, and I really want to take this stuff further. And it's another reason why I'm also excited for the Globe, because we get different voice training there. So I'm going to be able to compare things and hopefully find something that works for me even better by combining bits and pieces of everything. And then something I also really want to try to do with these voice classes is learn how to teach it myself, because in the end, one of the things that I'm kind of hoping to really get to in the future is to become a teacher in some way, or an acting coach, whether it's at universities or just sort of a private business. I don't know. So I've really enjoyed these classes and I want to learn how to teach it as well. And I can kind of figure it out myself, but I don't want to mess it up by accident. So hopefully I will find a way to push forward with it. And yeah, so that's basically what voice has been like. It's been really exciting, and I'm disappointed that we don't get any more voice classes as the year goes on. There's some sort of private support we can get if we ask for it, so maybe I might try to get a few more sessions like that out of it, I don't know. And yeah, so that's been one of the things. I gotta find a way to end these things, I have no idea what I'm doing.